And you've done the dating apps and all that stuff.
Oh God, yes.
The hair's been a cock block.
A cock block. And he literally walked out of the restaurant, got in his car and left me sat there.
Honestly?
He left for somebody else. It was quite hard. I'm sorry, hang on a minute.
Oh God, it's all right, don't worry. I'm Michael Douglas and I've been working with women and their hair for over 35 years. I know just how important hair is to you and how it makes you feel about yourself. And that's why I've invited some brilliant women into my studio in Soho to tell me about their life, the challenges they've faced and how I can help them make the most of their hair. So keep watching for great stories, tons of hair tips, techniques and advice. This is Hair Stories, where hair meets life.
My name is Julie and I live in the Midlands. I've been following MD London on Instagram for quite some time. My hair has always been what I want to call my crowning glory, but I'm never ever satisfied with what I've got. I get quite nervous going to the hairdresser to say, right, what are we doing today? And I go, I don't know. I don't want to be walking around with a 22-year-old's hairstyle. I'm single. I don't think I pick very good men. The main thing I want to feel is more confident. I can see every line and wrinkle and thinking, this is really difficult. I'm 66 now and it's a milestone birthday. You think, oh God, I'm at the age where I need a new knee. And all these little things, they all chip away at confidence.
Now, I was fascinated by your video that you sent in. When I looked at you and your hair, I largely looked as someone that I thought looked really good.
Oh,
and I was a bit like,
really kind.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I was a bit like, can I do something to this woman's hair? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. So it's possibly a bit of a challenge for me today. I know you've got some greys here, so we're going to play around with them today, get rid of them. I like the fact that it's blonder on the ends. It's really flattering. It's good against your skin. When I looked at you, I was a bit like, oh wow, she looks great. I don't know if I can improve the way Julie looks or not.
Wow.
Yeah, right? You weren't expecting that, were you?
No. You say, what am I doing here? I think if it's wrong to say that being in a relationship defines me. It absolutely doesn't.
Okay.
But I think the older I get, the less likely I think I'm going to find another person. And I don't want to live my life out alone.
Yeah.
And what it does is it just chips away at your confidence.
Yes.
Because each time you're invited to something, you're turning up on your own. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I think I'm actually, you know, a really good person. Doesn't matter about appearances. My heart and my soul is good. Yeah. But I don't have the confidence, I don't think, to project that.
How long have you been single for?
About 10, 11 years.
10, 11 years, okay. And you were once married, is that right?
I was,
You was, yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened there? Did it just peter out?
He left for somebody else.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So that
Again,
there could be some residual
confidence. Yeah.
Residual stuff there. Yeah, okay.
I don't need anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a very successful person, a very successful single person. But I think we'd all like somebody in our lives.
And you've done the dating apps and all that stuff.
Oh God, yes.
And you're saying you're quite a small village that you live in.
Yeah.
So you see the same people come up time and time again, do you?
You see the same people come up on no matter what app you're on. I'd like someone to go to the theatre with, someone to have dinner with, someone to, you know, someone who gives a shit about me. Somebody who
that's fine.
You know, actually.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, we need human connection. Really,
yeah.
I'm guessing you need someone to give a damn.
You're dead right, I do.
How long have you looked like this?
No, at least 10 years.
At least 10 years. What did you look like 10 years ago then? Was it different or shorter? Or?
Shorter. Spent a long time growing out my fringe.
Oh my God, maybe this is it. Maybe it's the hair. It's been stopping you. It's been a cock, they call it a cock block?
Maybe it is.
The hair's been a cock block.
A cock block. It's just got greyer and greyer.
Yeah.
It makes it go very woolly.
Okay, yeah, it's got that.
I go out in the rain.
Bushiness to it, hasn't it?
Fluffs up, yeah.
We'll colour your roots, and then I'll also colour this little light band here, so we'll get a much more even spread. And then you've got this nice lightness at the ends, which I really like, but we'll maybe just put a little toner on that, just to put some warmth in it. I think where we style your hair might be the answer. We'll cut it, obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think cutting lots of length off it is the answer. I think this long hair suits you. I think it makes you look kind of quite sassy and quite sexy, so I think let's keep the length.
See, I can go now. I'm sorted.
Are we done now?
Yeah, yeah.
My work
I'm
here
sexy,
over.
I'm sassy. And I've got good hair.
Yeah, I do. I really think it's good. So I think we'll do a few layers around the front. I think we can trim a bit of length off, take a bit of the weight out, and then I'd like to put maybe some soft waves in your hair or something like that. You've got a nice layer at the front here, which I always think is like a faux fringe. You know, it's a big layer, but actually if we put a kink in it, we get this nice little swoosh, which just adds a bit of like femininity and a bit of glamour to it as well. I'd like the appointment to be more about you feeling much better about yourself than transforming your hair into something that you're not going to like tomorrow, you know. Sound good?
Yeah, fab.
Great. You're a Garnier customer anyway, right?
I am.
You use that.
I do.
Unbelievable, look at that. I did that, that is my
that?
hairdo.
Who is that one?
Yeah, exactly. She gets everywhere, this girl. This episode is not currently sponsored by Garnier, but it could be if they were interested. We've also got Garnier Good here as well. So I'm going to use this one actually. I'm not going to use her today. I'm going to use her instead. And a lot of people go, my God, I can't believe he's using like box dye. For colouring like lumps of hair, like the roots and the mid-lengths and the ends and stuff like that, it's completely fine. It's only really when you start wanting a colour change or highlights or something that's a bit more technical, then really you want to go to the salon. So we'll use the number 5. I'm going to put it on your roots first of all. Then what we'll do is I'll get a little tint brush and then we'll just start to put it on this dark band as well and get some kind of nice even colour on there. For those of you at home, colouring grey hair is very straightforward because the hair has no pigment in it. If you can imagine, it's actually white hair, not grey. It doesn't do anything weird. It's very, very straightforward. So all I would say is that if you're worried about colouring your hair, colouring it too dark is difficult to make it lighter again. If you look at the size of Julie's roots here, they're very, very small. I would recommend that you really want at least 1.5 centimetres when you colour your roots, and that way you don't overlap on the existing colour, because that's what creates the dark bands. If you're going to colour your hair at home, here's a couple of tips for you. Apply it to the most kind of stubborn and grey areas first, which you'll normally find is around the hairline and the parting, the bit that you see the most. The reason for that is it'll stay on those areas longer and probably just colour the hair just ever so slightly better. We really just want to put a tiny bit on here, and then we will just...
I couldn't eat this morning. I was far too nervous.
Nervous? What about coming here?
Well, I don't do trains very often.
Okay.
And I've told you already that having my hair done is quite an ordeal for me. Quite an ordeal. But I'm feeling much better now.
Where does that anxiety come from, do you think? Has that got worse as you've got older?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think it's it all comes down to confidence. And I don't know.
And has age kind of robbed you of your confidence?
Yeah, I think it has. I'm fighting it all the way.
Good, yeah, so you bloody should.
I don't want to be an old woman yet.
No. So we are doing the comb through here, so it's been developing for about 25-30 minutes. Once we've got that kind of balayage effect where it's dark, then the lighter bits here, we're using this Colour Fresh O Stroke 6, which is a kind of violet toner. A bit like a purple shampoo, but a bit more kick to it. And we're just putting that on the ends here through this, this slightly kind of orangey bit here. You can see how violet it is there. And we'll just leave this on for another 10 minutes. And then we'll be ready for a bit of chopping.
So I've been divorced for 10 or 11 years and I have tried every dating site on the planet without very much success, and sort of a cathartic process really, a way of putting it all to bed and it not being an overly negative 10 years. I've decided to not catalogue it, but write it all down.
Okay.
And talk about it.
What, your experiences with people?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
And
okay.
I'll give you an example. I went, and I mean, I can laugh about it now,
Yes.
but at the time I was absolutely crushed. Because you have this whole process of being excited. You get the chat first of
Yep.
all, and you agree to swap numbers, and then you say, right, okay, let's meet. And then you spend all day getting ready.
Preparing
doing
yourself
all your
mentally.
things, choosing your clothes, everything else. And you get to where you're going to meet. And this guy had said he was going to take me for a curry. So met him, he comes into the restaurant, we both sit down, and the guy gives us the menus, and he goes, oh bloody hell, he says, I forgot my glasses. And I joked.
Yeah.
I said, he said, they're in my car. And I joked, I said, you are coming back, aren't you? And he went, don't be daft. And he literally walked out of the restaurant, got in his car and left me sat there.
Honestly?
Honestly, that's just one of hundreds. It wasn't all horrible.
Do you have some good dates?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Mostly not. I remember one guy, oh God, he was gorgeous. And he came to my village where I live, and he said, we'll go for a walk along the canal and stop off at the pub. So we did. We walked along the canal, which is about half an hour.
Yep.
Sat at the pub drinking. And I said to him, do you want another drink? He bought the first one. I said, do you want another drink? He said, no. I said, oh, why not? He said, well, I don't fancy her. I went, right, okay. So we gathered our things up, then we've got a half an hour walk back along the canal, having had him say he doesn't fancy me, and I'm like, what am I going to say now then? Okay.
Can we set Julie up with somebody out there, please? Someone nice. That's not too much to ask.
At the time I was very hurt.
Yes.
And at the time I'm just thinking, what's wrong with me? But actually there isn't anything wrong with me. He's the one who's wrong, and he's got to live with what he's done.
Himself, yeah.
I said, I may not be, you know, the most beautiful woman, the most everything, but I'm in good heart and good soul.
You are, yes, well, I can feel that.
And that's far more important.
Has there been other things in your life that have shaped it, you know, into you being the person that you are?
Without doubt. I have one brother. He's 2 years older than me. And when he was 16, he had a car accident. He was passenger in one of these three-wheeler Reliant Robins, and his mates came knocking on the door and said, come on, we're taking you out. And he said, I don't want to go because I've got a cold. And they said, come on, come on, come on. So he eventually went. He was only 16, he wasn't driving, he was in the back seat. And the car, I mean, they don't go fast, these Reliants. The car hit a sunken drain, and it flipped because there were two in the front and one in the back.
Okay.
The car flipped. I only made of fiberglass. My brother was thrown out of the car. And he was actually physically getting up, and then the car rolled over on his back and broke his back.
Oh, the car did?
Yeah.
So he was out of the car?
He was out of the car.
And he was okay?
Well, shook up, yeah.
Yeah, but essentially physically fine.
Yeah.
And then the car rolled over and broke his back?
Broke his back, yeah. And he knew immediately, you know.
Did he?
When the ambulance crew came, he said, don't move me. My back's broken, I can't feel my legs. Yeah. And it's very, very life-changing, very life-changing.
For everybody, presumably, not just him.
You're like, your whole world is never the same again. And he was in Oswestry Street Orthopaedic Hospital for 2 years. We had a caravan parked on the car park at the hospital, and we used to go and stay in the caravan to visit him.
Wow.
It was quite hard. I'm sorry, hang on a minute.
Oh, that's all right, don't worry.
He is never bitter, he's never angry. He's just a remarkable man. He's remained totally independent and worked all the way up to retirement. Married.
Really?
Yeah. And lives his life out of a wheelchair. And I say everybody in the world should be made to meet him.
Yeah.
Because he's amazing. Sorry.
Oh, God, that's all right. And that must have had a profound effect on your life.
Yeah. We were brother and sister. He tormented the life out of me, and I used to get him out of all sorts of scrapes, and we were very, very close. And I went from being his sister to caring for him, putting his socks on, and he was in a rotating cot.
Yep, another ones you mean, yeah.
To stop him getting pressure sores, and we'd sit on one side, and then when the cot turned, we'd all run around the other side and wait for it to tip back again. And
wow.
It was really challenging, really challenging. And this is the guy I used to go dancing with, and he used to threaten to beat people up if ever they hurt me.
Yeah.
And now he needed me.
Yeah.
It was big change.
Yeah, it's profound really, isn't it?
Yeah. But I love the bones.
It must make you question everything about life and religion and belief and faith. And because bad things happen to good people all the time, don't they? And there's something chaotic about existence.
I think the fundamental thing you learn is life isn't fair. It isn't fair, and people go, oh, that's not fair. Life isn't fair.
Yeah. Okay, your hair, Julie, it's looking good. What I'd like to do is blow dry it.
Okay.
And then we'll put some body in it, and then we'll mess about with it a bit and start making it look super nice. How does that sound?
Fabulous, thank you.
Great. Styling takes place when the hair goes from being damp to dry. So if the hair is already dry by the time you take a blow dry to it, it's kind of harder to style it, if you know what I mean. So if you do find yourself blow drying a dry section of hair, it's a good idea just to damp it down first. And you can use a bit of product for that, or you can use a little bit of water. I've already got product in Julie's hair, so I'm just going to put a little bit of water on it. This will just help us with the styling process. Okay, so we talked earlier about the faux fringe, like putting in a fake fringe. So I'm just going to show you how I blow dry something like this. You want to try this at home. So here's the long fringe here. Now, Julie already said, let me turn this off for a second. Julie already said that she normally parts her hair on this side, but I've decided to put it on this side. I think there's a bit more oomph we get out of the fringe from doing that. But what I do is I blow dry the hair the opposite way I want it to go. So we're going to push it this way first, then flip it this way, and that's how we get a bit of height from it. So you blow dry it in the opposite direction. So what I'm going to do is bring the brush in here and bring it over here, but then I'm going to roll it back on itself like this. Alright, it's a nice little trick this, so I'll just show you what I mean. This way, but over to the opposite direction. Call it over directing, and then we'll put the little ends in and then roll it up. And then one other little trick, folks, is to leave the brush in and let the section go cold. Or you could press the tool shop button on the dryer here, and that will just put a blast of cold air onto the section. And then once you've done that, you want to let the brush out, and you should end up with a kind of flick like that. And then obviously what we want to do is just bring that up here a little bit using the brush, and that's how we end up with this little flick here. So it's actually created on that side, and then you bring it across here and we get our little faux fringe. This top section here is about 4 or 5 centimeters worth of hair. So you've got the crown here and the front here. You want to blow dry all this really backwards, and that's what gives us this little bit of height at the crown, and then a little bit of flatness through here, and then this swooshy thing gives us this overall shape. Now, the shape's very nice when it slopes downwards like this. This is what you want really, is height here and a bit of flatness here. And that's always a very flattering feminine shape on hair that's longer or shorter, or even if you were going to put Julie's hair up or something like that, it's just having that little bit of height there. just gives it a really nice feminine shape. We've cut probably about 1.5 centimetres off the length, and then lots of layers in it as well. How does that feel?
Fab.
Yeah?
Absolutely fab.
Feel free to kind of touch it and all the rest of it, 'cause it's yours. You can reclaim your own hair. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
It's got a really nice bit.
Gorgeous.
I did think we might kind of put the MD London wave to it, but it's so nice actually. You just don't need it. I love these little flicks and little curls, and the things that really make those are the fact that it's blonder there and darker there. So it looks fuller, you know. We've put a lot of
It's gorgeous.
thickness into it, you know, which is great.
It's not so brassy.
Yes, you're right. The toner's done a wonderful job of actually just getting rid of the oranginess of it, hasn't it? You know.
Lovely.
Can I just say also, you do not look 66.
You can say.
I can say, can't I? I bloody did say it all.
Like this, you can say.
Yeah, you look really, really good.
So soft.
Yeah, good.
I love it. I was convinced I was going to go home with a bob.
Yeah, do you know, I don't know if you heard that much. She thought she was going to go home in a bob. But, you know, I woke up this morning and I was like, does Julie get a bob? And I thought, no, she bloody doesn't get a bob. We just make her look the best she could look, which is maybe this, but, you know, who knows? You look fantastic, though.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Oh, God, it's an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute treat spending the day with you, Julie, and thank you for sharing your life with us. It's a total pleasure.
It's been a joy.
Good.
It just feels fabulous. It feels longer, although I've had it cut. It's soft, it's floaty, it's just full of body. I really, really love it. I feel very glamorous. I'm not nervous anymore. Yeah, I definitely feel very confident getting on the train going home. Watch out, you guys.